Okay, so Richard here from the Leather Repair Company. This is LRC 62. This is the Suede and Nubuck Dye. What we're going to show you, this is the black version, and we're going to show you on these Oliver Sweeney shoes in this, what I call a rather casual sort of mid-brown colour. We're going to show you how you can turn these from this to black. So we're going to do it on this shoe here. So we're going to put this one out the way. Obviously, before you begin with any sort of restoration that you do on any form of suede or nubuck, you must make sure that the suede is completely clean and it must be dry before you attempt to put on the LRC 62 Suede and Nubuck Dye. So what you would do, obviously you would clean them all over with the Suede and Nubuck cleaner, allow them to dry naturally, and then you'd brush up with a suede brush. And we have two types of brushes. This one's got like a brass insert here with the plastic fibers, and then this is a much stiffer plastic brush as well. And you just simply, we've already done this, but I'm just going to demonstrate to you so you can sort of tell. You just make sure these are all fluffed up. The purpose for doing that is it will enable LRC 62 to get right deep down into the fiber structure of the suede or the nubuck item. So it doesn't matter what it is that you're working on. If it's shoes, handbags, clothing, furniture, obviously make sure this is all brushed up, which we've already done with this anyway. Make sure it's all fluffed up so it's nice and fluffy, which is what we've done. But that's with the brushes which you can get from our website to do that. So we will use those during the video, but I'm just going to put them there for the time being. We are going to use this like dauber to put the paint onto these shoes. If it's a much bigger item, I would recommend spraying them on. Sometimes with these we would also spray on, but just for the purpose of the video, we're going to actually put them on with a dauber and show you how this works. So obviously give it a good shake up. You can pour some of this off into a little tub if you wanted to. I'm just going to dip the dauber into the top and do it that way. You don't want this dripping, so you wouldn't put this in, and keep it completely dripping like that. You'd make sure that you can take some of this off. Don't worry about what you're spilling down the bottle, it can all come off anyway. And then we're going to start by getting this put into here first of all. Anything that you get on these areas, this will just clean off afterwards. So just get all this wiped in, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And then we can clean all those sort of little areas off afterwards with a cloth. That's not going to be a problem. So I can sort of show you what I mean by that. Just use a little bit of the blue roll and you can just wipe that away on there. But once it's even dry, you can wipe that away. But as you can see, that's clearly wiping away, so it's not going to cause any problems to the actual shoe itself. So you're going to simply go around and apply like this, but you've got to make sure that the item is completely dry before you do this. And you can see there how it's changing the color of these shoes immediately to the black. So you just got to make sure you get into all the nooks and crannies with this to get it right into the structure of the suede on this shoe, on these Oliver Sweeney shoes. But we're just going to convert these to a black, so they're more of a dressy type shoe rather than what I call a casual shoe. But make sure it's all in there nicely. You can do a section at a time if you wanted, or just carry on going around the whole thing. And before it dries, obviously we're going to brush these fibers back up to make sure this gets into the structure fully. So just carry on going. I'm going to stop on here, on this panel here, and then we're going to brush this up. You don't want to go putting on too much, but you've got to make sure that you've got it wet enough so you don't leave any like streaks and things like that in it. And it's a matter of just getting this on there. And you can see already how much that's transforming those shoes, to look totally different. So we're going to go up to that seam on the front. And then what we're going to do, we're going to brush the fibers up with the brush to make sure that this is all going down into the suede. And what that does is it enables the suede to still feel very soft and supple like suede or nubuck does, because this is making sure that the fibers are all fluffed up. You can see there hopefully on the camera where it's changing color as I go over it like that. You can sort of see the difference between the two. I can from here, so hopefully you'll be able to pick that up on the camera where you've got to make sure these fibers are all nicely fluffed up so that we can sort of see that sort of color there as well. So you can just go around and make sure they're all fluffed up. And brush them in all sorts of directions, because you've got to make sure that this dye is getting right into the structure of the suede itself. So just go around and give them a good brush up. And then we can proceed to the next areas. So let's start again with getting we're going to go around and get the rest of the shoe completed on this side and just come around. And then I'm going to do the tongue area separately at the very end. Obviously you've got to make sure, as I said at the beginning, that you do have these cleaned properly from the beginning and that they are fully dry, or you're not going to be able to get the Swede and Nubuck dyes on there to get it to adhere properly and to bond properly, because you need to make sure that it bonds and gets into the fibres really nicely. So that's got all that done on the sides. So the next process is to obviously brush that up as well. So we're going to get that brushed up now. Make sure it's all nicely fluffed up and to make sure they're into all the fibres. They're actually looking quite nice, to be fair. They're looking quite stunning now. I mean, they're a fantastic shoe beforehand, but now it's looking really lovely. It's certainly enhanced them and made the colour pop and look a hell of a lot better than what they did do previously. So we're going to proceed now to do all the sort of front tongue area, toe and tongue area, and get that sorted out as well. So you can start off by doing the edges if you wanted to make sure it gets into all those edging areas. And all the way around the outside edges, and then start infilling if you wanted to. So it's quite a simple process to dye them. Ordinary Suede and Nubuck cleaner will clean the shoes up first of all, but then you've got to make sure that they are fully dry, so it might be worth sort of leaving them for a good 48 hours or so to make sure they're fully dry. It just obviously depends how much cleaner you're putting into them as to how long it's going to take to dry. Same with the dyes, you know, obviously you can speed this up with the hairdryer, or you can just let it naturally dry and do it that way. I will probably let mine naturally dry. We don't need any more dye on this. We'll shut the lid so we don't knock it over. Give the bottle a bit of a wipe down where we spilt it. So again, fluff that up. Make sure it's all in there, because this will also help you to tell whether you've got all the dye into the network of the fibres on the suede anyway. And if you've missed a little area, you can go back and put some more dye in there, because this will help you get these fluffed up and get the dye right into every little nook and cranny on these Oliver Sweeney shoes. And you can sort of see there the difference that it's made already. It's looking absolutely fantastic. And again, you can go around and do the first coat and then you can put the second coat on. But that is LRC 62 Suede and Nubuck Dye. And there is the other shoe, as you can clearly see. It's quite remarkable, really. When you look at it, it's absolutely staggering what the difference looks like. It's phenomenal, really, to be fair. It's an amazing difference. You can see from both angles, it's absolutely amazing. A fantastic transformation. So that's the LRC 62 Suede and Nubuck Dye from the Leather Repair Company. Any information you need, head on over to the website and you can buy yours today. Thank you very much.